Krusty Krab.
No,
Shut the
Patrick.
fuck up. There's somebody at my work that says that every goddamn day to my face, and I want to break her neck.
She actually listens to the podcast, so it's
I don't
good
care.
that you said that.
She's gonna sue you for workplace harassment. Or I don't.
Let us know if you like our new art, because I'm sure that you probably hate it.
Sure, let's talk about the art and how much it fucking sucks. It looks like...
I'm sorry. I tried my best.
It wasn't good enough. Hate to break it to you.
So why did we get new art at all? What was wrong with the other art?
There was nothing wrong with it. It was made by a person named Mono Otaku. If that was their screen name or their actual name, I don't know. But they sent us a while back, and I was thinking about doing it where we just have people, I almost said fans, I hate that word, but people send us stuff, and we just use that for a thing, and we rotate it out with new stuff. But
That's
I don't
a lot
know.
of work.
With the way it's going, it'd feel like forcing them to do stuff for us. And as much as I like showing off y'all's art, we will post that stuff endlessly on Instagram and stuff, but I don't want to get free labor out of you guys.
True. When was the last time we even heard from Mono?
And that was literally the only email we ever got from her.
She stopped listening. She was like, "This podcast sucks." She fucking dipped immediately.
Like, she did us that one, like, massive favor, and then I was like, fuck this. Like, never mind.
It's great art. There was literally nothing about the reasoning behind changing it was that it was bad in any way. It was just we wanted to have something in-house.
Yeah, so now I feel like we are a little more homegrown, independent. Yeah, that's a good word for it. But I really like, actually, how it turns out. It looks
Thank you.
really cool.
I wanted to have it just black and white with white text on black screen, but you guys were like, have some life and color in it, you fuck.
Yeah.
You dead inside child.
And I think that's for the best, honestly. The splash of color, especially on iTunes, looks really sick. And it's like exactly kind of like what I had in mind.
It works on places where it's like on Twitter, where it's just the text. You don't even see the blue, so it's like the black on white, just like you wanted. And then in the banner,
are you talking about the profile images?
I think so, yeah.
So for that, I actually made a blank version, so there would be no leaking and it would look crisp. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
it looks good. Like that.
I'm awesome like that.
All right, let's calm down.
Do you think the Red Ranger was like, let's put sparklers in all of our uniforms?
Yeah.
Is that required of them?
I don't think it was required, but I think he's a big proponent for that.
Because they got hit in the
aesthetic.
chest and just exploded with sparks every fucking time they get hit.
Well, that's
because they can't bleed because it's a kids show.
So their molten weird sparks come out?
Yes.
It makes more sense than blood.
It's an alternate dimension where everyone is made of fireworks instead of flesh and blood.
Yeah.
My name is Roman Candle.
What the fuck?
That was dumb.
This is my child, Sparkler, and my son, Bottle Rocket.
Bottle Rocket.
Is Bottle Rocket an alias, or is it like a legal name? Like first name Bottle, his last name is Rocket,
That's
and his middle name is probably like fucking Spark or some bullshit.
My
like
niece, one of my nieces, says she says like she has words now and she can talk a little bit, but she mostly just communicates with like noises. And one of the things she says is da and ba, and that could mean fucking anything because we have no idea what she's saying ever. And she'll just point to something and she'll get actually frustrated with it. She'll be like, "I'm fucking this. That's what I'm saying."
Hey, look at me, motherfucker. Focus, okay? That thing
Focus
right there.
up, idiot. Open your ears. Listen to what the nonsense that's pouring out of my mouth. And I'll like make fun of her, but now she actually speaks and she can understand me making fun of her. And so I'll be like, I almost said her name. I really shouldn't. I want to save them from this stupid thing that I do. But like she'll point at something and say ba or da, and then I'll be like, "No,
Child.
that's nonsense. What is what you're saying?" And she'll be like, "No, it's not."
You just said
And I'll
her
be
name.
like, "Shit!" It's like when Caesar caught the little like electric rod thing from the dude and was like, "No."
You just said her name.
You were like, I don't want to say her name. I'm gonna save her from
What'd I
this
say?
stupid thing. And then 2 seconds later, you said her name.
You said
What did I
you
say?
said her
No.
name.
Caesar.
No, you said okay. Her name.
Yeah, her name. Yeah. I mean,
Oh shit!
you fucking idiot.
That doesn't matter.
I don't know if it's your thing. Yeah.
You're good.
Well, that's gonna be bad.
It's not like
But there,
Yeah.
I brought it up because there was a car on the road that had a be a license plate and nothing else. And I said that, and my sister, I almost said my sister's name. Jesus Christ.
Now you're gonna say it.
But my sister,
I keep saying my family members'
I showed it
social
to
security
Julian, and
numbers.
she wanted me to tell you that you're mean to her, and I was like, no. Sad.
She's onto your game already.
Yeah, I
Just, like,
remember,
constantly shitting
like,
on
my
people.
sister, we used to, like, I don't know, like, not trick her, but we'd be like, let's see how fast you can get a bottle of water from the kitchen. Go! And then she'd go get a bottle of water and be like, oh, you're so fast. And then it's great. We got water and she was happy. But, like, now she's like, no, I know your games.
Yeah. Your sister is always coming into your room when you're playing Xbox, and all you do is you're like, no, leave.
Get out.
Stop.
Hasta
Shut up.
luego.
My sister's like way too old for that shit now. She's like 14, but when she was younger, like it was cool because she wouldn't like remember stuff that like happened around her. So like if we wanted to, that sounds really fucked up, but like that's not where I'm going with this at all. But like if for example, my mom didn't want us to get like McDonald's ice cream because we were gonna have dinner later, we would just go get ice cream, and like like she wouldn't be able to say anything. She physically could not like put the words together to say
Right.
we went to get ice cream even though you already told us not to. And I was like, fuck yeah. But now eventually she developed the language to become like a narc, right? And like when I was supposed to be babysitting, right, multiple times when I was younger, and I would have my friends over from the neighborhood or from wherever, even though my parents told me not to, and that I should pay attention, like spend time with my sister. Like for a while, she had like no idea what was going on and could never like say like, oh, this is like, understand that this is not allowed and that I'm actually supposed to be preventing you from like stabbing yourself with your juice box.
Right.
But instead, I'm just gonna like leave you in your room to your own devices while me and my friends go, fuck up the lawn somehow. But yeah, now she fucking is just into really like emo and like anime shit, which is surprisingly still like that age demographic is always into that regardless of generation, it seems, because like we hit that, like my generation at least hit that. Our generation was like into like anime and like emo music, like Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy and shit around that 13 14 year old age.
Perfect person.
Exactly. And they're still into that. I don't understand like what it is about that age group that has that just locked into their DNA. Basically, they're like, oh, I'm very angsty, so I'm gonna listen to all this like fucking music and post literal like music lyrics on Instagram, and then like do like a nice little art design of the words of this song I like that means a lot to me, but actually looks dumb to everyone else. But yeah, that's my 2 cents about age and aging. I had a squirrel in my house yesterday too.
Did you eat it?
Did you fuck it?
Those are 2 very different things.
I mean, you could have eaten its vagina.
I don't know what the gender of the squirrel was per se, but I
was watching the demos disc, which is a Funhouse thing, and James was talking about, do you ever like watch a video and they'll be bantering back and forth and you'll think of something really funny that they didn't say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
like
you want to talk.
A missed opportunity.
Yeah. I wanted them to say, like, because he was talking about, do you think vaginas ever puff up, like, to make, like an aggressive thing to defend itself? And I was like a Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park, but they didn't say it.
Have you seen the movie Teeth? It's kind of like that, basically.
Oh, God.
Where it's like,
the labe.
Yeah, some ancient... I don't remember the specifics of how it happens in that movie, but this girl becomes, like, cursed or some shit, and then she develops teeth around her genitalia, and she bites off the dick of people, and
He's not joking.
Pretty
this
funny.
is on Netflix.
Yeah, it's pretty funny actually. If you
Does she eat it?
I actually don't know. She doesn't eat it, but maybe the vagina does.
Does she just leave it in there like a tampon?
I don't know the specifics actually.
I don't like this conversation.
Why?
Why not? Yeah, I'm
Does it make
afraid.
your dick uncomfortable?
Does your
I don't
dick?
like this conversation.
Is your dick like tingling in fear, so being like, ooh.
That's exactly what's happening.
That's what
right
happens with gifs of people getting like nut shotted. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard that it's like something broke or it burst, and it's just like,
Ugh. It's like the
I don't
pain
want
transferred through the phone and into you.
I can still
Yeah.
feel my hand, the phantom pain.
There's a like phenomenon for that. It's like not secondhand embarrassment, but secondhand
Yeah, that's definitely not what it's called.
something else. There's like a fancy German word for it that like perfectly describes what.
No,
talking
that's
about.
the word for getting pleasure from someone else's misfortune. That's what you're thinking of.
Oh really? Oh well.
Yeah, I think
oh,
so.
that could also that kind of relates to it though.
Not
If
really.
you're thinking,
I don't really fucking nut myself if I see someone getting cracked in the nuts.
but yeah, like when you watch someone, especially on like fucked up subreddits that pop up sometimes, like watch people die, like, or you get the bad end of a 50-50 and you watch someone's like hand get fucking like skinned off or whatever. Get
Did you say
slaved.
50-50?
Yeah.
Dude, I was on that subreddit way earlier than I should have been. Like, we would literally be on that.
What's 50-50?
It's like a link that's like, it'll just
Oh,
say
either nudity or
yeah. Well,
or
it'll be
something
like
awful.
it'll be like cute puppies or Mexican cartel chainsaw beheading, and
Yeah.
we would literally go on that website in class in high school,
Damn.
and it was not good, man. It was not good.
I still go and watch people die, but it's mostly just to read the comments because people are very, 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 very casual about making jokes. Like the running joke on there is it's almost always videos of off-duty Brazilian police officers shooting someone who's trying to rob a store. It's like consistently always that's what's going on.
Fuck. It's a real specific
It's
niche.
the checklist that they do is like off-duty Brazilian cop, someone getting shot in a store, and that was it. And it's awfully morbidly hilarious.
It depends on like who's died. If it's like a robber or something like that, like there's so many jokes. Like they just don't care.
Yeah,
It's
and
wild.
it's also like when they make sort of not sadistic, but like they almost like they take joy in it. Like I don't know how to describe that. It's not like a joke anymore. It's like, wow, they really don't know how to cut a head off, or like something like
It's
that.
fucked up. That's
Where it's like an
horrible.
ISIS beheading. Do you ever see those videos where the dude who's like the weakest person on the planet is cutting off someone's head?
Yeah.
No,
With like
no.
the worst implement in the world.
I covered my ears even though my headphones are under my
I was
hands.
about to say you're a fucking idiot.
God damn it. Those are my relationship with the watch people die subreddit is I'm not sub to it. I can't just have people dying on my feed every once in a
Yeah.
while. It's just like somebody will say it in a comment or something, and I'll go in and then I'll get locked in for like 20 minutes just
Yup.
going down the
Yup.
page, and then I'm like, man, this world sucks. And then I'll go
It
back to my
does.
regular like rainbow
It's
and like
also just
other
like
content.
watching how capable someone is of just mutilating someone.
How
brutally.
easily someone can take a life.
Exactly. That, and also like how easily you can make someone experience the most painful thing in the world. Like just like lighting a fire and then putting a machete through the fire and then cutting someone in the stomach 45 times without them being already dead. Just like killing them that way. It's always like these like cartel murders off in the jungle somewhere. It's just like, Jesus Christ, that person is alone and at the whims of fucking psychopaths and getting cut to pieces. It's so brutal and awful.
You know, something else I noticed, I think we should change the subject at some point because this is like really dark and but,
Wait, yeah.
people that commit suicide, they're often very like calm and they just kind of do it. It's not like they're crazy and they're sobbing and they're like, should I or should I? They just like walk up to a ledge and jump off or something. Or like it's very like they just do it. I don't know. I always found that fascinating.
It's really
Not fascinating.
sobering.
I don't know if fascinating is the word, but
I mean, it is fascinating, but it's
yeah.
morbidly curiosity thing.
What was the recent controversy with the I think a guy like live streamed his suicide or posted it.
Didn't you just say we should get off the subject?
Well, I know before we do, I wanted to like bring this back up that
Make it
resulted in
worse.
like
I'm not sure. Yeah, I
like
don't know. I haven't heard
the
of that.
subreddit getting
I've never
banned or
heard of that
something.
either.
I feel like we definitely talked about it when it happened, but now I like don't remember it all. Which is kind of like maybe like sad that life is like futile and like we don't even think about these things after a certain point, but I guess it just ties into the whole theme of morality being fleeting and whatnot.
I don't know if morality's fleeting for everybody, but like people suck.
Yeah, I mean, that subreddit, I had a back and forth with it in my head where I thought like the only people that watch this shit are like really fucked up, like insane people that are like bad, and we should just like get rid of this subreddit because it's like not doing anything good. But then there are the people that argue that it actually makes them like appreciate being alive more, and like is a place for some people
I feel like
to
that's
get help.
Minority. I feel like I don't go on there to make like to appreciate my life. I'm on there because I'm like morbidly curious.
I mean,
not
that's
because I
literally the only
enjoy
reason I go on there. But there's also people that, not that I know, but I mean, they obviously they could be lying just to sort of like prop up the sub, but they're saying like, oh, I was suicidal, but then after I watched this, I was like, fuck that. I don't know if that's how that works. Maybe it does for like 2 people, but I don't think what's holding you back from doing that is a video of someone else doing it. So if you had that happen to you, I guess it makes sense, but I could never really see it from that way because I just used the sub to like satisfy a curiosity.
Yeah. That's the other thing is that is being like morbidly curious about that stuff kind of fucked up in its own right, do you think? The fact that we want to watch someone get brutally murdered. Like, why do we want to see that?
It's videos like that already exist on the internet. This is just a like compiling of all of it. That's what I think of it. It's like it's not like a worshipping of death. It's just like
it's also it's the idea that it's something we shouldn't see.
Because it's called watch people die. It's inherently like you shouldn't be doing this.
It's something that you shouldn't see, which makes you
which is why
obviously
it's
curious.
Not safe for work and not safe for life and blah 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 blah.
I guess so. I don't know.
You have to click like 30 times just to get in.
Right.
Okay, we can jump off of this now. This is just making me
Michael Cohen.
Yeah. So the president's lawyer got a lawyer and then got well, yes, for those that don't know, these two things actually happened like back to back, surprisingly, on Tuesday. The president's old personal lawyer, who was this old New York guy, he was a real fixer-upper. He used him to pay off these 2 porn stars that he'd like had affairs with to like buy their silence, basically.
Stormy Daniels and somebody, right?
Yeah, and Karen McDougal. And he pled guilty to doing that. And the reason that that's an issue, and this is kind of like a weird, technically violates this law kind of thing, is that it violates campaign finance law, which...
That's awesome.
Yes. The reason it violates campaign finance law, which you may have not heard about since AP government, or whatever government class you guys took.
IB government.
You can't use money that's been donated to you to pay off people.
Yes. Basically, the thing that happened was that Michael Cohen paying off these women was in essence a campaign contribution that was not reported and that exceeded the legal amount. So that's what he pled guilty to. And then a few minutes after that, the Paul Manafort, who was Trump's campaign manager for like the first 6 months or something, he pled guilty, or he didn't plead guilty. He was found guilty of like 8 counts of like tax and bank fraud and shit. But they mistrialed on 10 other counts. But they only did that because of one fucking holdout who was apparently like a very like super Trumping like person that was on the jury. So they would vote for the 8 counts, but they wouldn't vote for the other 10. And it has to be unanimous, right? It has to be all 12 jurors. So they had the one holdout preventing them from doing like all 18 counts found guilty. So that's what happened. They're both going to jail.
That's so stupid.
I know. It's funny because a lot of these people are like, well, this has nothing to do with Russia and collusion stuff, right? It's like, no, it doesn't. But that doesn't mean that other crimes don't matter. But it's just pretty weird that the president has a bunch of criminals around him breaking the law and stuff. Kind of a weird situation to find yourself in. Like,
no, man, the apple always falls far from the tree. That's the saying.
Yeah, so
Vodka?
who among us hasn't lightly violated some campaign finance or tax?
I like that if he goes down, it'll be for such a completely stupid reason.
Yeah. Well, that's
he
how
paid off a porn star. That's the dumbest thing in the world.
That's how all this shit starts.
Trump
though.
could be like impeached because he paid a titty streamer or something. Like on Twitch. He sent a donation.
That's the thing, though, is that all these huge investigations, eventually, like, people get caught on, like, the smallest, dumbest shit. Like, Al Capone, they got him for tax evasion, right? The murdering gangster Al Capone went to jail for not paying his taxes. And then Bill Clinton, the whole reason we know about the Monica Lewinsky scandal of him fucking an intern or whatever, which is bad, is because there was an investigation into a land deal. He bought some land and it was kind of sketchy. And then somehow in the investigation process, they found out that he fucked an intern. And then when they found out, he lied about it. And then he got in trouble for lying about it. So it's really just the details.
Is that an impeachable crime?
Obstruction of justice. Lying about it.
Oh, he lied.
That was it. Yeah.
Yes. And Bill Clinton...
He wouldn't have been impeached if he didn't lie.
No.
Yeah, it would have looked. He wouldn't have been impeached. It would have looked very bad, though. He was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I fucked her. So what? You know?
Still beat, though.
That's in
Still
his
beat
stupid
them, yeah.
accent as well. Yeah, that's what I did. So what? Come and get me, bitch.
But yeah, so Bill Clinton was technically impeached, but not convicted. The way the process works is that the House impeaches and then the Senate has to convict, but the House impeached and the Senate never convicted, so Bill Clinton got to remain president. So that whole thing was a shit show. But as history has taught us, the devil's in the details. So I'm not surprised that if anything happens, which I'm a super cynical person when it comes to politics, and I doubt
Nothing
anything
good will ever happen.
nothing good ever happens.
Now he's not talking anymore. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I don't
He
think...
cut out.
Yeah. Oh, did I get out? Fuck. Must be all the fucking, like, torrents I'm seeding.
Torrent.
I'm kidding, I'm not. Torrent, it's like how people pirate shit.
Wait, why? What?
Yeah. It's like how you legally download games and whatnot.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And movies and...
Literally
and stuff.
anything else could be more interesting than talking about politics.
It's just very depressing. But yeah, that's the rundown. Trump will not end up getting in trouble for potentially colluding with the Russians. He'll
For
get
this
in trouble.
one of
Yes.
76 things he's accused of.
He paid a lady he had sex with to not tell people that they had sex. But then she told people anyways, and then he got in trouble for it.
Paid again?
So not only did he waste his money, he got in trouble for wasting his money. So it was a bad deal overall.
He's an idiot for being an idiot.
Exactly. That's basic. It's kind of funny.
Vicious cycle.
Yeah.
It's the circle of life.
Like, you just make a
Ah,
bad
that old
situation worse for yourself by continually making, like, bad decisions.
Troubling down.
Which I guess is... that's how life works, I guess. You just continually make things worse for yourself if you're an idiot.
It's like with watching all the not news shows, what's it called? Last Week Tonight, like when they talk about him and all his failed business ventures where he's like, yeah, I made a hotel, it didn't work. Yeah, I made a school, it didn't work. But I continue to double down.
Yeah, I ran a country. Didn't work.
Dude,
Ooh! Bars!
my favorite is the fucking Trump steaks. Have you seen the Trump steaks commercial?
Yeah.
The most flavorful cuts of beef for the better.
I was like,
They come from my thigh.
God damn. They sell it at well, they used to sell it at a store close to my current house right now. It's one of those weird stores where they're like designer steaks. It's not like your old mom and pop butcher shop. It's like, here is this Nebraskan elk that we can import for you for only like $2,000 plus shipping fee. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
I'm good. I'm gonna go get a Big Mac.
The sharper image.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, the Sharper Image, which sounds like the name for a TV store, but they sell meat. Am I right?
They also sell stuff on planes. Like you can buy stuff in the sharper image
Yeah.
on a plane.
Which doesn't make any sense. I'm double checking right now. Oh wait, the Sharper Image does sell electronics. They do. Okay. So,
And steaks.
yeah. Oh, they have a whole man cave section which I think is where that would go. Massage, outdoor living, personal care. Yeah, it's kind of like Brookstone, that other gadget place.
Did y'all see that Rage 2 is coming out?
Yes.
I
No
did
one
not
cares.
play the first Rage.
Neither did I. But this one looks like, I mean, it looks good. Like, looks nice, but I don't know anything about that series.
It is. It
This,
looks
this is kind of old news, isn't it?
Yeah, but
I don't know. I just saw a tweet about it.
it reminds me a lot of like Mad Max, which
Yeah.
I think is definitely like the idea. And funnily enough, the studio that made the Mad Max game that came out in like 2015 is also making this game, which seems like a perfect fit basically. But the original Rage was pretty boring, if I'm being honest. It was stuck in that whole like, you know, the last generation of consoles on the 360 and stuff. Everything was just brown a lot of the
Yes.
time. Like you played like Call of Duty and like a lot of the
That was
maps
the
would be
problem.
brown.
That was the problem with Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. Call of
Yeah,
Duty.
brown and gray. Like I'm having trouble thinking of like what else to name because there's just so many. But just don't like Borderlands 1 was pretty bad about that too. Some Assassin's Creed games, even though they were like set in like Europe and shit. It was just Far Cry 2 is actually the worst. That whole game actually looked like a brown pastel. But yeah, Rage was bad, and it seems that they've injected a lot of color and more life into this game. It looks like Far Cry, but post-apocalyptic. Does that make sense?
It's got the people working on it, the two developers, Avalanche and ID Studios, have a lot of games under their belts.
Yeah.
Avalanche got Just Cause 2, Mad Max, Just Cause 3,
Yeah.
4.
Well,
ID Studios has Wolfenstein, Doom, Quake.
yeah, but
Rage.
they made the old it's id, not ID, by the way. But just not to like shit on your face or anything. But id Studios made like the old school like Doom, Wolfenstein, Quake, and all that stuff. But they don't make those anymore. I don't know I think the only thing they make that is definitely their own is Doom. They made Doom 2016, and they're making Doom Eternal, which is coming out. And then they don't make Wolfenstein anymore either. That's a different studio. But what I hope that they do with this Rage 2 thing is that, one, they add some like life into it. They cannot take it seriously, which it looks like they're not. But at the same time, there's a fine line between not taking yourself seriously and then being really unfunny about it. Like being like, ha ha, ha, look at us, we're so wacky, right? Like, who cares? Like, it's like Borderlands.
Borderlands.
Yeah, it's like Borderlands, like pre-sequel, like or Borderlands 2,
First one, Borderlands
Yeah.
2, Borderlands pre-sequel. They're all like that.
like Tiny Tina.
They're all like shit that Elon Musk would laugh at.
Yeah. Like if your game appeals to like a Rick and
I'm
Morty
so
fan
fucking
base,
random.
That shit was only funny when I was like in a freshman year of high school.
When I was like 10.
Even freshman year of high school, it was funny for the first Borderlands game you played.
It was
Yeah.
funny for the first 10
Claptrap. The first 10 minutes. Claptrap was like, oh my god, that's a funny robot. Like, he's all goofy and
Yeah,
dumb.
yeah.
And then after the first 10 minutes, you're like, wow, this is a fucking annoying robot, and I want him to die.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He's in every
That-
game ever.
That I have crippling depression joke is as old as when Claptrap said, like, I can't change my voice, but I'm actually quite depressed. It's like, oh, that's the joke. That joke is so old, it's in Borderlands 2. And it's still going on today. People tweet
Yeah.
that shit and get 50 billion retweets.
I hate that shit. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of shit I hate on Twitter. It's very low, low hanging branch kind of humor.
Low stupid to the fucking idiot dumb shit brow thing.
Yeah, it's like self-hating, self-deprecating humor. That's just
I like food.
Okay, cool. So does everyone else.
I
Congratulations.
like sleeping, guys.
Do you want a fucking medal for how funny?
The Office.
you were?
The Office, guys. Vines, guys.
God, okay. Can we talk about how fucking good Assassin's Creed Origins is? Because
I haven't played it.
I mean, you can
Bitch,
talk about
I'll
it.
fucking smack you up the head. it is so much better than any other Assassin's Creed
Than
game
that
I've ever
depressing,
played.
gray, rainy piece of shit that you played before.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Oh, mate. We're going to
Everything's
assassinate
said
some
all
blokes.
the time. Let's save the child labor
Child
kids.
labor. Those were the missions. The missions were literally like, save the children
Yeah.
from being killed at work.
I was like, oh,
And
okay.
Bayek of Siwa crests the hill and looks over at the horizon while Jacob and Lily Fry slowly trudge through mud in the streets of London, where they have, like, what's the fucking disease from scurvy?
So the big thing that I like about this game more than the others is that it feels noticeably smoother. Like when I was playing any other Assassin's Creed game, there was always a weird weight to your character where they seemed like, we talked about GTA 5 characters, where you need to like motivate them to like move in a certain direction. But here,
Bayek just fucking goes.
yeah, Bayek, I feel like I'm on it. Like I have like way more direct control over like what he does and stuff. And I think also playing on PC helps because I like get higher frame rates, which is nice. And so it's super smooth. The climbing, I don't know what they did, but it feels a lot simpler now. Like
Yeah,
I remember climbing used to like be really finicky and that you would grab things all the time that you didn't mean to grab.
Yeah, there's a lot less like, oh man, didn't mean it. Nope, go down. Nope, don't. You jump too far. You gotta go. Nope, I fucking grabbed the ledge again.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like just frustrating. It doesn't happen in Origins like nearly as much as in the old games.
Yeah. And like one of the things I thought I would be worried about is that there's not a lot of climbing to begin with because you're in ancient Egypt, so obviously there aren't skyscrapers and shit.
I don't know. Do
Nah,
you
they made
miss
it work.
climbing?
That's the thing, I don't miss climbing.
Oh, thank God. I was about to say, it's like, oh man, give me the Tower of like Babel so I can climb it up.
Yeah, like
Be on that fucking wall for 30 minutes.
I remember like in all the old games it's like, here's the fucking like Paris Cathedral. You can climb this shit and it'll take you 20 hours.
Oh, there is one mission where you play as Aya. It's not a spoiler. She has to climb a very tall thing. Do you remember that, Eamon? The tower, the lighthouse thing.
Hang on.
During the battle.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, she has to climb that, and it's very, very frustrating. It's got one of those things where you can't just go right straight up. You have to sort of circle around and find your footholds and hand grabbing things.
Yeah.
That's really annoying.
No, I just finished the mission where you play as Aya, and you do the ship combat with like all those mercenaries like off the Aegean
Damn,
coast.
you're fucking way through it. Dean. You haven't done any of the side stuff, I bet.
Yeah, I've done like a ton of side quests and stuff.
But have you done all of it?
No, I'm not a fucking like completionist
I do remember
maniac.
it, Patrick. It took me a second. But
Yeah,
yes, I had to go to Google Images. I thought I was
And
going
at the
crazy.
top, and there's that fucking asshole, and he's just like,
Yeah. Well,
You
it's
would've
fine.
minded me.
That's spoilery.
Well, the game's been out for like almost a year now, and like
Eh.
the story is actually like good. Like
Yeah.
I think it's actually I like Bayek.
Bayek.
I like
Took you
Bayek a
while.
lot.
You like him, but you don't know his fucking name.
I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a bad example. I don't know.
Idiot, stupid fake bitch.
I like Bayek a lot. I think he's actually like a not annoying character, which is like the bar these days.
What the fuck? Someone commented on something I said. I made a post on Instagram, and people were just for some reason asking if I was all right. So I said, "Stop asking me if I'm all right. I'm fine. I'm eating Nilla wafers and arm wrestling a crab." And then someone said, just now, "You have like so much money now, and yet you eat like a broke college student. I admire that." Who told people that I have a lot of money?
What the fuck?
Patrick,
Why are
have you been
people
holding
lying?
out on us?
As I sit in
In
this
your
room,
mansion, on
in
your
my
throne.
mansion,
I mean, all your Instagrams and Vines have the same background of your room, so I don't think people would
can't
like.
tell the difference between my old dorm and this room for shit. They don't know the difference.
I don't think people are notoriously keeping track of like what backgrounds you're shooting in.
I have so much money.
Well,
Did you
what were you gonna
did
say,
you
Alan?
guys read the thing I sent last night? The few screenshots I sent
What did you?
in the group chat
No.
about Assassin's
Oh,
Creed
yes.
in
So-
2019. Yeah, they're not releasing a full title in 2019. They're just gonna support Odyssey, and I would assume start working on the next one.
So
which will probably come out like
I like
2020.
it a lot.
I like that a lot as well.
So
That's what made Origins. so
That's
good.
That's literally
Yeah.
that's what the
It was like
was it-
what, 2 years, 3 years?
the lead designer was like. That was literally what happened with Origins. We took a break, and then it gave the team time to do what they really wanted to, and the results came
It
out
was
really
great.
well.
It still bothers me that Donkey didn't like that game. I mean, it makes sense. Because
Oh, he didn't?
It was good. Yeah.
I haven't watched that video. I should
His
go
whole
back and
video
watch
about Assassin's Creed sucking, he made a comment. He was just like, and I know you guys are just gonna go in the comments and be like, "Oh, you didn't play the new game though," and then he shows footage of him playing the new game, and he's like, "And here's a waiting mission, here's a follow mission, and here's the stupid shit that I don't like." And yeah, so he didn't like it.
it. Donkey has a very peculiar taste, so like I'm
Yeah,
not really
yeah,
gonna
he
hold
does.
it against him. But I'm glad that they went with the year off to give us the Assassin's Creed movie, which was a real masterpiece.
That fucking sucked ween.
And then eventually we got Assassin's Creed Origins, which turned out very well, and I think was the first good evolution of the franchise. Although I think they have given up quite a bit of the whole, oh, it's Assassins versus Templars.
I don't give a fuck about that shit. I stopped caring after Ezio. I don't give a
I don't care.
fuck.
I really don't. I wish
Yeah.
they would just
I
drop
also
that
don't
completely.
stop making me play some idiot sitting at a desk in the modern day. I don't care.
I mean, that shit in this game is like super.
It's
short.
a little piece, and you can just, if you want to, you can get up from the table and sit right back
Yeah,
down.
I know.
You don't
It's
have
like-
to do
he's like,
shit.
you should probably do this thing, and you're like, shut up, I'm gonna. And then he just like, plugs back into the machine.
Go
Like,
fuck yourself. It's so stupid. They're like, you want to play as some guy. It's so stupid.
There's
You
no
wanna play as
point.
some guy.
It's like the little person over the radio is like, "Hey, you should take a break because you're gonna get like a bunch of like microbial sickness or whatever." And she's like,
Who
"Yeah, fuck
cares?
that. Plug me back in."
fucking let me die, and you just plug back in. Like,
Just hook my brain up to this thing forever.
that's how VR is gonna be.
Exactly.
Like one day.
Ow, in pain. It's like you start the game and then you play as a person picking up a separate controller and playing the game, and you periodically have to get up from that game to like take out the trash and shit. Why?
But obviously their strategy of waiting worked out really well, and so Odyssey is also looking really cool.
The fucking homophobes hate it.
Yeah, so fuck those guys. But what I thought it would be kind of like how Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was to Assassin's Creed 2, where it's just kind of like more of the same. It's still pretty good. But I rewatched some gameplay videos, and there's actually a ton of new shit. Like the conversation fucking system. They have a better conversation system than Fallout 4 has now, which is fucking crazy. They actually let you choose what you say.
I haven't seen any gameplay of it, of Odyssey.
You haven't?
I just seen the trailer.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I don't need to. I don't want to have anything spoiled for me. Any kind of game. I want to experience it. I'm already sold on it.
I'm sold on that. I'm sold on Red Dead.
Yeah, I watched the first E3 like introduction. It's like, here's the evolution of the franchise. Like before, we were doing all this stupid shit that wasn't fun, but now like,
Fuck.
but now we're just gonna turn the game into like a full open world RPG, kind of like The Witcher, which is what people like these days. So
Yeah.
you know, yeah. And I was like, fair.
And
like,
they did it well. I remember when I first heard that's how Origins was going to be. I didn't buy Origins for a while when it first came out. I didn't like how it looked like The Witcher. I didn't like
we buy it
the
like,
combat.
at the same time.
It was on sale, yeah, and we both jumped on it. But
Yeah.
I didn't like that the combat looked sort of hack and slash to me, even though it doesn't feel like that at all.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it than in the older games. And so I didn't buy it at first, and I regret it. Well, I ended up buying it eventually, and I played the fuck out of it.
Yeah, the old games are definitely more hack and slash. They have like the Batman Arkham combat where it's like X X X X Y counter X X X X flip over a guy Y counter X X X, and then you like kill everyone in the fucking room basically. But in this game,
It's so satisfying.
yeah, I'm like, okay, shield up. I have to hit this guy, dodge him, hit him in the back, shield
Heavy
break
attack,
him, heavy attack.
Shove.
Yeah, like and
Throw
then
an
Everything
arrow.
also makes you look so fucking cool. Like, just, you see some, like, whatever, the phylactes.
Yes.
Like, a phylacte will be coming on a horse, and you'll stand in the middle of the road and draw the sword, and you'll be like, okay, let's fucking go.
Yeah, or when you go into guard mode, it's like
Yup.
you draw your sword and then you put your shield up like you're ready.
Yeah,
so
it's so good. Also, the lances and the spears, where you jump up in the air and just whoosh, like a little bit in the neck or something like that.
Yeah,
that thing
yeah.
that Achilles does in Troy. It's just like, fuck.
I don't think I've been attacked by a phylacty yet.
You don't get attacked by them, really.
It's
sort
just
of
if
have
you
to look
happen
for
to,
'em.
if you happen to be where they are.
Are those like big red,
red.
scary things on the map?
Mhm.
Oh,
The little
okay.
helmets.
I've been
You
avoiding.
always get a legendary. You should, if you're a high enough level, you should kill them because you get a legendary item from them.
Yeah, there's one on my map in the area I'm around, but it says like level 23, and I'm only at level 20 right now, so I'm gonna like wait a
It's
little
not
bit.
easy.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
They are difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just did this whole like bandit hideout that I was like just one level under for. It was like, oh, this is a recommended like level 21, so you should be good. But then like the captain and the commander are all like level 23, and they'll just like fucking destroy me if they want to with like 2
Yeah.
hits. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna fucking jump on you when you're like sleeping. And then,
What you can do, there's something that I was fighting something really. There's this base that you can find on a cliff, and it's like this huge, giant temple and all this stuff. And there's a captain there who's a big dude, which means he will not like fall over if you hit him really
You
hard.
can't like shove them,
yeah, you
and
can't-
like heavy attacks
you can't
don't
break his
stagger him.
stance.
yeah.
So I just got on the ballista and hit him with like a giant spear, and he died in like 3 hits.
That's what
Yeah.
I love doing. I just love, like, as soon as I get, like, discovered and the alarm's going off, and I was like, I could restart, but I'm just going to jump on this ballista and just, like,
Yeah,
kill all the heavy guys.
it's
and
not
then
like
take
with
everyone
Assassin's
else.
Creed, like the old ones, where if you set off the alarm, you sort of have to restart. It's like, no, okay, well, I've taken out some people stealthily, and now I'll kick the shit out of everyone right in their face.
Yeah. Like, and I love setting traps on the, like, little alarm braziers, like the
yeah.
big fire
Yeah.
pits. So you just fuck those guys up. And what was the part I just did? Oh, the mission where you assassinate the scarab, the guy who was like you thought was your friend, and then this is a spoiler, I guess. But, he ends.
We have a tendency to give a spoiler alert after we say the spoiler.
Well, I said I'm on the mission, but
You literally said you
What
killed
you
the
did
scarab.
with Voltron,
you do kill the scarab.
I
He's one of
got-
the targets. You know that.
When you spoiled Voltron, I got like 3 messages about that.
You did?
Very not
Yeah.
happy about it.
Really? Oh shit.
Yeah, you literally gave away like 6 plot points and instantly like didn't have like you took a breath and you were like, this is the entirety of what happens in Voltron.
I've never seen this show, so I'm surprised I gave so much away. I was like, you hear about all this major character deaths and plot.
Did you hear about
development that other people
how
are mad about?
Shiro killed himself and threw Pidge off a ledge somewhere? That's not actually what happened.
What the fuck? But anyways, yeah, this I was on this mission and I ended up. I didn't know how it would end, so the target was surrounded by like 5 different dudes, and I could easily jump on my main target and kill him and call it a day. But then I was like, oh, but then I'll have to like run away and like deal with all that shit. So I'm just gonna wipe out all these guys first. But then I like was aiming my predator bow, and then I fucking like just missed it and like hit the wall next to the guy, and then somehow I'm like 200 yards away, like above this guy, and then immediately he's like, "There you are, you fucker!" and he like fucking shoots me in the fucking face.
If an arrow flew right by your head, you'd be like, "Oh, that's where it came from."
I feel like
Come on.
not even like sometimes I don't even shoot people, and then I'll be hiding in a bush, like looking at a guy. I was like, okay, I'm gonna shoot him with my arrow, and as soon as I take my bow out to aim, they're like,
Yeah,
"Fuck,
'cause
there you
stand
are."
up.
Yeah, you stand up out of a bush.
Why can't I just shoot it
Here
while
I
I'm
am.
crouched?
Hold still.
Hang on, please, 1 second. Why can't you just fucking do it while you're crouched? Is it the
Get a
fucking...
predator bow and stay far away.
That's what I do. It took me a while to learn the different types of bows and the different types of weapons.
The legendary predator bows are fucking amazing.
Yeah,
I have
they're nice.
You want to set them on fire after you kill them?
I just I just have a rare one right now that has a good stealth damage that I've been using, and I use my second bow is like a hunter bow that I use.
Same. That was my.
I
it
like
was
the light
hunter
bow
and
that fires like a
predator.
machine gun.
Oh, the
Light bow was
the light
good.
bows.
I'd use the warrior bow on like animals, hippos, and alligators.
Mm-hmm.
It shoots like
Okay.
4 or 5 like shots.
I had to change shit up just to kill those fucking elephants. I hate those things so fucking
Oh
much.
my god, those are satisfying to kill though.
Yeah, when you finally bring them down. I want the little dude to come out so I can strangle him to death.
Oh yeah, I
I
wish
want
that was
him
a
to
thing.
crawl out of there and be like, "Oh shit," and then have a cutscene of him just like, "Shut the your fucking arrows."
It's like in the fucking Coliseum
Yep,
at the end where you
yep.
can choose to spare or kill people.
I always kill people.
Have you played in the Coliseum yet, Alex?
Yes.
No,
Oh,
I didn't know that was a
please don't
thing.
be.
You should once.
There's two.
There's two. Yeah.
There's also a hippodrome.
One is
for
unlocked
racing.
right away, isn't it? I think you get
One's
one
like
pretty early.
like in the middle and one's on the top left.
I just got to the Great Sphinx and the
That means nothing to me. I don't know what that means.
It's a fucking sphinx.
iconic.
I mean, I know what it
Sphinx,
is. I
you
don't know where it
idiot.
is on the fucking map.
It's a big cat, man.
What's the max level in this game? How much more do I have to go?
I don't fucking know.
Fuck you.
Oh. Okay.
I can Google it. Real
Isn't it like 40 something?
62.
Shut the fuck up. But no, it's been a great time. And Odyssey looks great. I'm loving this whole like Egyptian, Roman, Greek, like what is that area called? Mediterranean? That shit?
Jordan?
No, not the sneakers. The region.
I fucking hate you so much.
Okay, fuck you too. It's great. Go buy the game if you want. I did not spoil it. I promise. It's good. Did you see my? Well, you didn't see my tweet, but I wanted to ask you, Patrick, because you also frequent the gym a lot. How often do you see people using two machines at once?
I fucking hate those people, and they go like, "Oh, I'm doing a superset." It's like you're an asshole.
Yeah.
You suck ween.
You're a super douche.
You're a cunt.
There was this one.
'Cause
Yeah.
No thing that you're doing. I don't care. This is a go build your own fucking gym out of wood. Do whatever you want, separate to my life, so I don't have to deal with you. And they're also like, "Oh, well, I'm working two different muscles at the same time." It's like, use one and then use the other. You can't just do both. Because also they'll like get really defensive and annoying. They'll stand up from the bench and be like, "Hey, bro, I'm using squat rack, so you gotta lay off of it."
shit.
I'm like, you're doing bench presses and then you're going to do squats. Why? Yeah, I hate that shit.
I was at the gym the other day, and this guy was using two different squat machines. One of them is like a free squat machine that's not on the rails, and the other was a Smith machine that you can just like obviously push up and down on like a track, so it's a lot safer to do it solo. So what he was doing is that he was doing squats on like the one that didn't have a track, and just like a regular metal bar with like hinges you hook it up back to. And then he left the Smith machine alone, but he tied like a red rubber like stretch band to the bar.
He marked his territory.
So he wasn't even using it to lift things.
keep
He was
cutting
using
out,
it to like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to fucking do. He used it to fucking just stretch. He wasn't using it to lift anything. So, and then after that, in between sets, he took out a jar of protein powder and would just like eat it with the like volumed like scooper. Just like eat the powder straight up. Like
what the fuck?
I saw him just like contemplate it and then like knock it back and then like wash it down with some like water. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
It's weird.
So I was like,
Jesus Christ, Ben, you keep like you're cutting out like a lot now.
really? Okay, well you guys fucking talk about something while I fucking figure
I
this
don't know
shit
how
out.
you get to fix it, but there's this guy who goes to my gym. I haven't seen him in a while, but he takes his bag of like baby powder or like flour or something and then puts it on his hands like gymnastic people do so that he doesn't hurt his hands. And he gets it fucking everywhere. And it's all over the squat rack. And people use the squat rack, they need it more than anything else in the gym. Like there's 97 things you do with the squat rack. He gets it everywhere, all over the bar. And the bar is like, it has these textured grips, so it gets like all into the little crevices you can't get out. And it's like baby powder, so it goes bad in there and it turns green with the sweat. And it's just the most disgusting thing in the world.
That sounds horrible.
He's this huge dude, and I wanna have someone arrest him. Like he's so annoying.
What the fuck? Jesus. I think I fixed it. But if I didn't, who fucking knows anymore? There we go. Anyways, I feel like we should talk about the Patreon that we set up. No?
You set up.
Yes. So, we decided to set up I decided, with the support of you guys, to set up a Patreon page for this little shindig. It's more or less just to like, you know, any support helps, obviously. You know, pay for the SoundCloud subscription and then like start investing in the show with better equipment and stuff over time. So we made it last Sunday, and as of right now, we have 5 patrons. So thank you so much to all 5 of you. You amazing,
Thank you.
beautiful human beings. You are great people. So right now it's kind of like it's pretty much set up for the most part. We're not obviously expecting $1,000, $2,000, tens of thousands of dollars every month or whatever. It's just whatever you can to, help out and stuff. And we appreciate every fucking little penny. And I would like especially to thank the first 5 people that signed up and are helping us out. So we have David Brody Millard, Aaron
Shout
Kelly.
out to fucking David Brody Miller.
Shout the fuck out, dude. Aaron
Brody
Kelly,
Miller.
Marianne Boucher. I think I said that right.
Whoa, French person.
Rebecca Sublet, and Jessica Barrowman. So to all 5 of you who were the first to sign up, thank you so much for your support. It means the world, and you are too good for us, honestly.
To the people who don't give us money, you don't fucking have to if you don't want to, and there's no stress involved. Do not think about it as a requirement. You can still listen to this shit without giving us anything, because we're gonna do it until we die.
Yeah, it's honestly just like, hey, if you like what we're doing, feel free to like chuck a couple bucks our way or whatever you want.
What did you say in the thing? Like, your disgusting pennies, throw those at our
Yeah,
face.
throw your fucking
Basically,
rusty
that's
ass
what we're
pennies
doing.
right in our eyes.
You don't have to big ball with us.
Whatever you got. But no, the idea I think is that we want this eventually to be more, and so this is like that initial phase, and everything starts small. We're not getting like our hopes up. This isn't gonna turn into like a fucking like multimedia empire or anything. It's just like every little bit helps here and there, and we can improve certain things.
Like that.
Yeah. You're so fucking down. But yeah, if you want to support us, just go to patreon.com/PrudeDudes. The link will also be in the description of this podcast and the YouTube. And there's some reward tiers on there. Right now, just for $1 and $5 tiers. We could add more, but I feel like people. I mean, we're just keeping this like pretty simple right now, and I feel like people starting to give over $10 is pretty significant, and not sure what we would even give out for some of those like higher tiered stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the issue.
Let us know. Send us suggestions that what would you like as a tier?
Keep it reasonable.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not gonna call you.
A personal phone call.
Can Patrick move to my house?
Yeah, just suggestions on what you would.
Can
like
I
to see,
touch Yaman's hair?
No, you can't. Reasonable.
we can send you some used socks, strands of our
I'm not gonna
hair.
send you anything. You don't even want any of the stuff that I have. Empty
No.
Coke cans and sadness.
I'm sure someone would want like an empty Coke can.
I'll send you
Signed
my
by
anxiety
you.
and you can keep that.
It's horrible.
But I think for like the higher tiers, if we could figure it out, just like maybe like a T-shirt. I don't know. Like it's pretty easy to.
T-shirts?
It'd be pretty easy to print T-shirts. I think.
Would it be?
Yeah, we could just literally use one of the designs you made already.
You know what? I've thought about making clothes for a long time, but not stupid shit that just says your logo. Like, I see like a lot of content creators will make like just like this is what it is, but it should be like subtle and also look like good clothing instead of like dumb.
Like the best kind of clothing is where it's not like an obvious logo, but if you were to see it, you would go, "Oh, I know what that's from."
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
I don't know how we would do that because our name is our name.
Yeah.
I remember I was at the mall with some friends, and I saw a guy wearing, I don't know if it was a Funhouse shirt or Achievement Hunter shirt, but it wasn't the logo. It was like some phrase or something from one of their shows, and like he saw me looking at the shirt, and I was like, I don't know, I was like, I know where that's from or something like that. And he turns to his girlfriend. He goes, "See, I
Yeah.
told you people." And it was just great. It was like a great moment.
Funhouse actually has like a name that doesn't sound like Achievement Hunter is just sort of like I don't want to wear that shirt. But
Yeah, I know.
Funhouse is like, hey,
Exactly.
nobody knows what that is unless they know what it is.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, I feel like
Achievement Hunter sounds like you ever see some kid who's wearing a shirt that says King of the Waves or something like that, like
a surf shirt?
King or like talking about all this. I don't know, like it's like I don't even know how to describe it. Like talking about a profession or a sport that they play, which they obviously don't. Like King of the Wave. I can't think of another example besides that.
Hoop
Like, they'll
star?
have,
Like
like
the skateboarding ones?
or those,
Little
yeah. Like
skateboard?
they have that on
I
a
don't know.
shirt. I feel like if you wore a shirt that says Achievement Hunter, people will think, so he's a guy who hunts achievements. That's weird.
what does that even mean, though?
I don't know. They're probably gonna be like, oh, he's a weirdo.
Yeah, I know. Nothing good.
I think for t-shirts ideas for us, we could come up with some cool stuff. It doesn't have to be our like
a lot of ideas. So.
It doesn't have to like be our logo. Like I think like maybe just like a P and a D on like the chest like a chest pocket of like a basic t-shirt or something, and then some like cool like coloring that you like the stuff you did.
Like
Like,
up
that'd be
on
cool.
the side.
Yep.
Like they
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
exactly.
Like streetwear shirts.
Yeah.
I hate just like the big stupid.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Where it's almost like a plastic. It's not fabric.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like fucking wear the fucking Prude's logo on your chest all the time. I want it to like
tattoo.
be like cooler and subtle. I want it to be something that like we would wear.
Yep.
But then I feel like as soon as people like know what we're wearing, they're like, oh, you're like repping your own shit. Well, yeah, it looks good.
That's why.
So
I'm not going to do that.
If we're not gonna rep it, how can we expect anyone else to rep it?
I mean, if it's a black shirt, I'll wear it.
Yeah. If it's like the design I have in mind, I would actually wear, because most like 99% of the people on the street will have no idea what it is, and they'll be like, "Oh, cool! Is that like a?" They'll probably think it's a frat first.
Rude dudes is a frat.
No, if they just see the initials PD, they'll be like,
PD.
"Pi Delta? What the fuck is that?"
Side delta.
But I'm sure we could probably come up with some designs from like different stories we've told and stuff that like are pretty abstract and like
Mark
people
Nutt.
don't- Yeah.
Shut up. Stop talking.
People like
People
grapes.
Like grapes.
What
Oh
a
my
fucking
God.
stupid shirt. Anyway,
Wow.
I'm never gonna work for Rooster Teeth. I hope. No, I would love to do that, but seeing as how I've made fun of Funhouse,
Yeah, you've,
and
like,
now
fucking
everything
destroyed
that they
them.
make in the store.
You were critical of Funhouse. You're definitely making fun of the store, but you were critical of
It's
Funhouse.
such a dumb shirt.
All right. Well, yeah.
Hopefully we'd have better shirts than that. But
I've also thought about like if they ever saw the or listened to what we said about them, and I'm thinking of how like it would be if they did like respond and say like, "Oh, these stupid little bitches made fun of us. They're petty and stupid." So we win either way.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they shouldn't care at all what we think of them because they're giant and we're stupid and ugly.
I mean, we'll know we really made it when we have our first like publicized beef with Funhouse or
cease and
Rooster
desist
Teeth.
letter?
Yeah.
Stop. Oh my God.
They can't send us a fucking cease and desist for like.
I
shitting
love
on
them though. That's the point of what I was saying. I like them a lot.
It's like a fucking like, real love-hate relationship with those.
I don't
guys.
hate them. They're actually doing cooler stuff now.
Did you just like talk about like why their shit is shit?
No.
No, he never said that.
I never said
I
that.
would
I was
never.
explicit and clear what I said.
You're taking me out of context.
I really was. I was trying to be. It was more of a criticism rather than just saying they're stupid. I did also say for some reason, I don't know if they're incapable of writing something down and having it be funny.
God
And that
You
was
did
kinda
say
mean.
that.
That was kind
You
of mean.
did say that.
I don't, that's not what I was just trying to be funny in that moment. I wasn't trying to say that they're ugly and stupid.
I don't think that ties
You
into
should
the being
stop
funny
talking.
thing.
Yeah, you should really.
Yeah.
You should just stop while you're at.
Why?
it.
Who's the new girl that joined Funhouse? Alana Pierce.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's kind of funny.
Is she good? Okay, because I know she was at IGN for a while.
She's also very pretty.
Pretty weird that you would bring that up, Yaman. Do you only judge her by her looks? Is that
I literally said she was funny before I said anything else.
okay? That's fine. You know, it's cool. Okay. Got an hour left. Pat, do
He's
you want to go
sexist.
through some emails?
What?
You want to open up those emails and go through some emails?
We had an email that was asking if I was gay.
Really?
You want to read that? Yeah, I think
didn't-
so.
Wait, I didn't see that. We get emails like in the middle of the night sometimes that I miss, so I'm just gonna fucking start with. God, that's a lot. Let's start with this one from McKaylee. Hey dudes. I really need some advice. So on Monday, this guy I have algebra with said something really inappropriate to me, and it made me super uncomfortable. I want to tell a teacher, but I don't have any evidence that he said it, like a video or something. What should I do? The Google suggests that we agree with you, saying, yeah, that's fine, or nope, that's fine.
I think you should definitely tell your teacher.
You
Definitely.
should still tell the teacher. Yeah, this isn't like it's not like court where you like need evidence to.
They will definitely be on your side about it. They're not
Yeah.
going to be like, "Where? Well, what evidence do you have? Do you have fibers that you can present?"
And if you want evidence, what I would actually do is, I don't know why people don't do this more to like evidence gather, but just leave the phone recording app on your phone on,
At all
and it'll
times.
pick up what, like, or when you have class with this guy, basically. When you,
I don't know
like,
if that's necessary.
I mean, like, you can like at least record him saying like the fucking like vile shit that he's saying to
she
you.
makes it sound like this was just one event and it might not happen again. So
Okay,
why not
but I
just tell
mean,
the teacher.
for future reference,
Listen,
if it does
listen.
happen, definitely like.
Turn on a voice recorder, all right, and then walk up to him and be like,
Say it again.
say it again. Yeah. What did you say yesterday?
You want to repeat it and also swear on this Bible?
Don't hold it up to his face. You keep your phone in your pocket or whatnot. Just be like,
Yeah,
what
exactly.
was that thing you said yesterday?
And then he's gonna be like, "Why are you holding your phone like that?"
No. It'll be in your pocket. Don't worry.
Or just
about
leave it.
Why
on
do
your,
you got?
leave
You
it
can't.
on your
There's
desk
no reason to
face down.
MacGyver this shit. You can just tell the teacher.
it. Yeah. Oh, we're making jokes and all. Just go tell.
I'm just saying,
someone.
tell the teacher, but also if you feel like he might do it again, leave your phone recording on. That's it. Simple as that.
And bring a knife or a gun.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't
Don't
do
do
that.
that at all.
No,
Don't
no.
Do not.
This one's from Sydney.
bring a gun to school.
Well, the teachers have guns now, so they'll just shoot back at you.
Everybody's in a Mexican standoff.
Everybody's got guns.
Don't move. It's a librarian.
Read number 7.
It's the cafeteria guy.
The janitor has a gun in his mop.
The broom is a gun.
He's mopping with a shotgun.
He cocks the broom.
Not so fast.
He cocks the broom. Alright.
Okay,
Yeah, anyway, definitely tell your teacher.
Next question.
This one's from Sydney. Hey, dudes, just wondering what would be your go-to karaoke song. Mine is Bohemian Rhapsody.
That song has become so bad to me.
It's a classic.
It's a great song, but I hate hearing it now because people play it too much.
Oh.
Karaoke?
Yeah.
Helplessly Hoping by Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Damn, that's a pretty good out there pick. How about you, Yaman?
Rather be.
Rather Be? By...
No place I'd rather be.
That one.
Nah.
That's pretty good. Okay, I like that.
Yes, sir.
We should have a karaoke night.
We should
I
not.
hate singing in front of people.
We
so
should
it's
go
not
to the
gonna
next
happen.
question. Is what we
I
should
think
do.
most people hate singing in front of other people, but then you just get
I
really
sing
fucking trashed.
like a fucking champ in my car, though. I sing so well.
Oh yeah.
I never fucking open my mouth in my car for like any reason other than
What?
to like swear at like other
If
people.
I'm listening to a podcast, I'm gonna say shit. I'm like,
Really?
Yeah.
That's so weird. I never.
I also
that.
do weird voices and like say things out loud that I think are like, oh, how would this sound? You know?
I
You
never
really don't
do
talk
that.
to yourself.
I mean,
Not at
I
all.
do that stuff too. Yeah, but mostly singing. It's mostly just like the jamming out. I don't care. I'll stop at a red light. I'll stare down the person to my left.
If I
Yeah.
know I'm gonna have to lie because I do that, I guess all the time now. Then I practice it beforehand in the car.
Yeah, that's always good.
I don't.
See
Yeah.
how
Have your
convincing
bases.
I could be.
What's the word?
Bases
Covered.
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 There you go.
Yes. I was gonna
Have
say
your
loaded.
bases and eat them
Shut
too.
up. Shut up. Stop talking. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Just have your bases.
Shut up. Read the next. What's the next question? What's the next email?
This one's from a different Sydney. Hey dudes, not very good at writing emails because I'm literally a bridge troll who doesn't know how to talk to people. But
Same.
just wanted to start out with thanks for making a really cool podcast. I really appreciate how funny you are and how you can hit a big range of topics, and I think that's neat. Also, I really like how you openly share your opinions, and it's cool that I agree with you guys a lot. Anyway, I wonder if we'd like ever
People
said,
say
like,
that a lot, and it makes me think: is this just an echo chamber?
Yeah,
is
I
this
was like,
what we
should I
do?
say some really like controversial shit one day?
We
And
should
like,
get
we
Alex
just, like,
Jones on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Anyway, I had kind of a question / ask for advice. How do you guys feel about people doing some kind of tech school or program instead of classic college? I know, Patrick, you aren't in college, but you went. Alex and Ramen Boy, you're both currently attending. I'm more asking, how do you view people who don't go to college, whether they go into some kind of program or just head straight up into a job? I'm asking because I'm starting cosmetology school soon, and my friend keeps being a really big asshole about it, making jokes like I'll never make any money and making me feel inferior to her, or making
That's
me
your
feel like I'm
friend?
less intelligent than I actually
Sounds
am
like a
just because
villain.
I'm pursuing something I love. I guess I'm also asking if you view people who do one thing, like school-wise or career-wise, as just that one thing. Absolutely not. Relating back to myself, people think that I'm really shallow or something and exclusively into makeup and hair, and disregard the other things about me, such as liking to read and write and shit like that. Anyways, this is a really long email, but just wanted to get your thoughts because it feels bad, man. Keep on keeping on, bros, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Fuck that friend. Dump him.
That's a
Cut him out of your
fucking
life.
asshole. That's not your friend. Holy
Yeah.
shit. That's so bad. That's like I drop people because they make a joke that I don't like, and then I don't talk to them anymore. But you're literally assaulting you with hate. What the fuck?
I can imagine Patrick cutting someone out of his life because they made a knock-knock joke one time.
Made a knock-knock joke. I'm pretty sure if someone said knock-knock to me, I would walk away.
Exactly what I imagined.
There's this...
Nobody's home.
It's like people think that makeup and shit, it's this ditzy, stupid, idiot thing. It's really hard to do
it's
it.
like an art.
It's an art, yeah. It's drawing on someone's face, and you have to be good at it. And it's a skill. There's nothing bad about it. I think your friend's an asshole.
Yeah.
And I don't think about someone just as they're like a firefighter. It's not just he's a firefighter always. No, he's a person also. You know?
Yeah.
That's a very like teacher, like middle school or high school teacher way to think about things. Like my teacher is only a teacher
Yeah.
and they don't have a
They
life
live
outside
here.
of
Yeah.
school. They live here. They stay.
lock
They
'em up
sleep
at
in
night.
that desk
Yeah.
right
They
there.
they power down at their
So, yeah.
Yeah. It is super weird to like run into like teachers like outside of school though, because they're like, holy shit, you exist out here, really?
My little brother has the history teacher that we had. Yeah, he still works there.
The history teacher.
World history.
Oh yeah.
I miss that guy.
Good for him.
It's weird. But I would say as for like getting a job straight out of college, you're going to like trade school or whatever else kind of school you want to go to, just fucking go for it, man. Like too many people go to college for shit that they don't actually want to do. Like instead go to something you actually want to do. Like if you want to be a welder, if you want to be a cosmetologist, if you want to be an electrician, just go do that. That's totally fine. That's
Drop
cool.
your fucking friend.
The important thing is that you're doing something.
Yeah.
If you don't go to college, do something in its place to keep
Work.
progressing your skills, progressing your career, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Just don't do nothing.
Yeah. Do some kind of
It's-
work that you
it's-
find rewarding.
It's easier for people to I mean, obviously don't give a shit about what people think and don't care about their judgments of you, but like people think it's less valid to judge you if you're still out there, walking the path or whatever the fuck the phrase would be, like still, working any kind of job, even if you're not in school, because they're going
Right.
like, well, I mean, they're doing something,
Yeah.
Right. You walk like you know where you're going and no one questions where you're
Exactly.
Yeah, and so, like, also on the bright side, you'll always look better than all of those people who are giving you shit.
That's a really
That's
good. That's
really
a really
good,
nice
yeah.
bonus. That's a really nice bonus.
You will always be on fleek.
This one is from Kelsey. Hi, Prude dudes. New listener after watching Vine compilations and seeing Patrick's Vines. Love listening to the podcast and feel like I can relate to all of you. Was wondering what's your view on the Jack Whitehall being cast to a gay role when he is straight. Oh yeah, this guy. It's in that new Disney movie with like The Rock. They're on an island. It's like not Jumanji though. It's some
That
shit like
sounds
that.
It sounds like a lot of movies.
Also, with Idris Elba being tipped for James Bond, is it just racist to say James Bond is a white British man, so it should be a white actor? Growing up in Australia, it feels like society is going backwards and conservatives are becoming more vocal. Just had a politician quote the line "final solution" from Hitler's speech. Anyway, just wanted to say you have a fan all the way from Australia. That's really fucking cool, actually, if you think about that. Kindest regards, Daniel. Wait. Why does your name say Kelsey, but your name is Daniel? What always fucks me up is when people's like sign-off names are like different from like their like email default names.
That's
so
a wild difference, though. It's not like Kelsey
Yeah.
98 and Kelsey. It's like Daniel.
I'm like, oh,
I'm also Daniel. Anyway, yeah.
So whoever you might be, Daniel or Kelsey,
Whoever you really are,
yeah.
if that is your real name.
So I guess the argument here that needs to be made is it okay for a white person to be recast as a minority person, and why is it okay for why is it not okay for a minority person to be recast as like a majority like white straight person?
But representation in film. There's 9 billion white people in every movie ever. And
Yep.
you don't get leads that are always diverse. So it's more significant to have Idris Elba play Bond than the next puffy white dude. So
Exactly. Like, there's already millions of opportunities for straight white dudes.
you've seen
out
the
there.
movie. You've seen the white dude play him 83 times.
Yeah. And so there's already roles out there that
It's like
for like you to fulfill, you know?
when people say like oh, this new version of the game sucks. I miss the classic Wolfenstein or whatever. And they go like, those games aren't gone. You can still play those games.
Yeah.
You can still watch those movies with all your favorite white people. Sorry, they're not there anymore.
And it's just creating more opportunity for people who have historically had very little opportunity.
Exactly.
So that's why it leaves a sour taste in the mouth when a straight guy plays a gay person or a non-trans person plays a trans person, you know? Like, just give that to a person who knows not only what that experience is like firsthand, so that can inform their role and then they can do a better job at it, but it's also just like, in my opinion, just like a fairness thing.
Yeah.
Like, you have like shitted, like maybe not you personally, but like the system that shitted on this person historically for so long and now they have this like opportunity that would be perfect for them, but you're still giving it to the same boring ass people that you have for the past like 100 years.
And people get really fucking mad about when people say straight white males. It's like, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with me. It's like, you're right, there isn't. We're not talking about you being a horrible, awful person. We're just saying some other stuff.
Exactly. So fuck that shit. Idris Elba as James Bond, that's cool. And Jack Whitehall, do a different movie. You've got different opportunities.
It's amazing how
coming your
many
way.
people are willing to fucking fall on swords with Scarlett Johansson as like confidence. Just
Yeah.
like, I am everything.
Like she literally like, this girl is playing an Asian woman and then a trans man and then fucking like, I don't know what goes through her mind, but whatever. There's eventually gonna
She
be like
says yes to everything.
there's eventually gonna be like a Harriet Tubman biopic, and Scarlett Johansson's gonna be like, I can do that. That's me. That's the role I was born for.
It'll play Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King. P.S. I know it does matter. Doesn't matter. But your podcasts confuse me on whether or not Patrick is gay. If he is, Def's be the coolest gay person I know who is different to what society thinks gays are. Okay.
Who is different to what? Wait,
Who
what?
is-
What did she say? You keep cutting out in the weirdest places.
No, I think it's just because the way it's worded is weird. If he is, Def's be
Def's B.
the coolest gay person I know who is different to what society thinks gays are.
No, I'm not gay. I just like everything.
Okay. There you go, people. It's like an
As
everything
interesting as that question is.
bagel.
Did y'all see that there was something on Mars recently? No, not Mars. There was ice
do
on the moon. On
I feel
Reddit,
like
did you
we
see
have.
that?
I feel like we found that
ISIS.
shit already.
Yes, ISIS built a
ISIS is
rocket.
on the moon.
They traveled to the moon. Space ISIS.
Space
fucking
ice. We need the Space Force.
Da, 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 da. Going to space. Dying in space.
Okay, I'm gonna pick this one. This one's from Abram. We did it, boys. I finally finished Dark Souls. Thanks for sticking with me all these months. I do appreciate it. Hopefully you guys will keep on going. Well, a while.
No, we're
longer
stopping
so I
now
can
that you
finish
finished
the
the
rest of
game.
series. Yeah. Well,
All right, we can stop now.
Our
I'm
mission's
so
over.
glad.
Going to space.
for real though, congrats on the success of the podcast, not the sex of the podcast. You guys are the highlights of
The
my week.
sex of the podcast.
Yeah. Cheers, Pedri. Thank you for your email, dude. Much obliged. Wait. Okay, your name says fucking Abram, but you sign it Pedri or Pedri. Excuse me.
Pedri?
He says it's spelled Pedri, but in parentheses he says it's pronounced Pedri. So,
Pedri.
yes.
Okay, but what about your other name?
Is that your real name? Pedri?
Whatever.
Abram? Please name and consistency, folks. Change your fucking settings. Okay. This is kind of a long one. That's
You know
kinda
what
like
I found
pushing back
interesting?
on what? What do you want?
Recently I found out that when people transition, they change their name sometimes, and their previous name is called their dead name to
Yes.
some people. And this isn't. People maybe get mad at me, but I had this funny thought, and I almost tweeted it. Is Voldemort's dead name Tom Riddle? Anyway, that's all. That's all I wanted to say.
Is that bad to laugh at
I
that?
don't know. I mean, I don't think it's like, I'm not making fun of trans people. It's just, I thought it was funny that they say dead name. It makes sense, though, because you're like a new person.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll get an email about that later.
Yep, I'm sure. I'm going to get 3 phone calls and get fired.
Personal phone calls. So this is from, okay, that's definitely, okay, this is a guy named Rob. He signs off as Rob. So this is from a British guy. You remember that Count Dankula dude we talked about who turned his dog into a Nazi, got charged for a hate crime, yada yada?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is in response to that. Ya right, ya chingwagi gobshites. I don't think that's English. Can you tell I'm British? That's not the true American freedom English that we speak here. In before
King's
white
English.
knighting. But I'm pretty sure you've misrepresented the situation in the previous podcast. Count Dankula's video was a joke, first and foremost, clearly not intended to incite religious hatred. You can decide for yourselves if you care, but I'd say it's fairly clean cut. It's easy not to care from across the pond. I get that, but it's a big deal for us Brits because it's about overturning a legal precedent that you can and will be arrested for what you say if the court of public opinion finds you guilty of being shit and enough people complain. Which is the other thing.
I didn't think he should be locked up.
Yeah, me neither. Which is the other thing. It's not about him as a person. I'm not trying to convince you he's nice. He could be an unbearable wanker for all the difference it makes, but what he did shouldn't, in my opinion, constitute a crime punishable by anything, and getting the fine overturned would... Oh, okay. Constitute crime punishable by anything, and getting that fine overturned would back that position up. Okay, so where we left off last time is that the dude just had to pay a fine, but he was refusing to pay it, and therefore he was going to get in more trouble. And I think we were talking about how dumb that was. Like, just pay the fine and like whatever.
Just pay the fine. I mean, it's not even like whether or not I want him to pay the fine. It's just, it's not going to be better for you if you don't pay it.
Yeah. He goes on to say, it's actually secondary to the issue at hand, but the crux of the joke was Nazis are bad, dog is cute, juxtapose the two, equals comedy.
We didn't miss the point of the joke. That we didn't not like it because it was like poor humor.
Basically asked a joke that somehow turned into a huge free speech versus my right not to be offended argument, even though you'd have to be pro-Nazi to be offended at the sentiment of the joke. It's purely the words he used and not the context that people latched onto.
You'd have to be pro-Nazi
Watch
to be
Jonathan
offended at the
Pye's thing on it. It's more eloquent than I'll ever be. TLDR, Count Dankula is in the right on this one, Rob. So I would agree with you, Rob, that I don't think he deserves to be locked up or anything or face any sort of punishment.
I think he deserves a finger wag.
I think he deserves
Don't
a nice
do that
spank.
again.
I think an old British judge
A
in a
nice
powdered wig
spanking.
should give him
All
a
those nice
spanking.
You
spanks.
said.
Yeah, I really, even though I think he's like an annoying ass fucking person, yeah, I don't think he should like
I don't
get
think
into trouble
that
for this shit.
our vibe during that was like lock him up and throw away the key. It was like, what a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I think our vibe is that he's making more problems for himself by not.
Yeah, it was like I'm gonna commit a hate crime technically, and then I'm gonna refuse to pay for the fine, and this is gonna go well for me.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing that he's standing up for now is that this shouldn't
Free
be a hate
speech.
crime, and that's
I can see how you might
yeah.
look at it and think that if he's convicted of this, where does it stop? But people say that all the fucking time, and this is where it stops. Don't make your dog a Nazi.
Yeah, I mean, even that, like, I'm not particularly mad about the joke. Like, I don't think.
Neither am I. But
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
I mean, understand why the government's like, don't do that again.
Yeah. It's hard. So hard to. I mean, really, I don't think anything should have happened to him. Plain and simple. Like, that's just where like I come down on this stuff. Even though I think he's like a total idiot. So, it's hard because I'm like, you got off really easy with a fine. Just pay the fine and like move on with your life. That's what I would do. Just
What else
because
did
like
he do? He was like, he taught him to, what? Bark at, what did he do?
like gas the Jews and like taught him to do the little like Nazi salute with his paw and stuff. And yeah.
But didn't he also double down? Like he decided
Yeah.
that he wasn't gonna.
Yeah, he decided he wasn't going to pay the fine and that he's going to fight it. And he's
fucking
gonna go
doubled
back to
down, and
court.
he was like, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. I don't think he did anything legally wrong, though, and like I don't think he should be punished for that.
I mean, people were talking about how it's like animal abuse, which is, it's not.
I don't think.
don't believe
No. That's a branch.
Unless
too
he's
far.
actually physically abusing the animal in order to train it to do that shit, then I don't see
Yeah,
it as abuse.
So I would agree with you, Rob, for the most part. I just think he's an idiot, and it's unfortunate that.
That's our final.
I wish there was.
He's a fucking
I
idiot.
guess basically, I wish there was a better champion for free speech over there for you guys.
There was this really funny college humor thing where they were like, ABC was looking at all the new shows that they can get for to replace the one that they kicked the woman off who was being racist or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were-
Roseanne. Yeah.
they were like, what do we have as possible replacements for her? And then someone was like, the sweaty guy from the Charlottesville rally. This is our champion of free speech. He trained his dog to be a Nazi. What a fucking
Fuck
idiot.
this. Okay, that's enough of those emails. We did get a new podcast review, which is nice. We're at 112 ratings right now. Still at 5
Hooray!
stars. Still undefeated. Still uncontested, except for that one guy who left us a 1-star review that was pretty harsh.
And that totally wasn't me.
This one is from.
It was harsh.
You remember that one we read that was like, this is actually like not that funny at all, and like I don't know why people like this.
And it's this new one is like that?
No, this new one is not like that.
Oh,
it was
thank
just
God. I couldn't handle it. I'd die.
This one is from another lifeguard. Great podcast that has nothing to do with lifeguarding, but still somehow managed to exclusively have lifeguard listeners. The three contrast each other perfectly and blend for a perfect mix of comedy and random deep philosophical takes. This one is from Gabby. Awesome dudes with soothing voices make sarcastic comments about topics varying from Marvel to politics to video games. 10 out of 10 would highly recommend. Great for a slow day at school or a long bus ride.
That's
So,
awesome.
thank you, you kind fucking people.
Thank
I
you.
like that last one a lot.
And again, thank you so much to our Patreon patrons. You are all amazing people. And special shout out to Rebecca and Aaron, who are like at our special $5 and up tier. Hopefully you guys got your personalized messages. Aaron, I know you got yours. Rebecca, we emailed yours like yesterday. So hopefully you got that. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you want to get your own personalized message from us where we confess to you our deepest, darkest secrets, you can join our Patreon by giving $5 or more a month, and you'll get that. If you want to give more for whatever reason, feel free. If you want to give less, feel free.
If you don't want to do
little bit
anything,
helps.
you don't have to.
Yeah, if you want to fucking send us poop in the mail, you can do that. and
Don't
we'll
do
say
that.
thank
No,
Don't
you.
do that.
You cannot do that. That's not
Hey,
what you can do. You can send us
don't look for
suggestions.
where I live.
Tell us what you want to see as a tier. What might
Yes,
be incentive for you to become a patron.
exactly.
We might take that into consideration.
Exactly. There's lots of stuff we could potentially do.
Yeah, we're not gonna give you our cars or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. I'd give you like a lock of my hair if you like were so inclined.
No, no, I will
hell?
not.
What?
What are they gonna do with it? Like make a clone of me?
I don't want to give away my hair, to be honest.
But thank you again to Aaron, Rebecca, David, Marianne, and Jessica for being the first 5 patrons on our Patreon. If you want to go become a patron yourself, that's patreon.com/PrudeDudes. We'll leave the link to that in the description of this podcast and in the YouTube description. Make sure to leave us a rating on iTunes. Always helps out the show. If you want to send us email or fan mail, you can send that shit to prudedudes@gmail.com.
Send that shit.
Send that shit. Not the poop,
Garbage.
though. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at PrudeDudes on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm at AlexPina97. Yaman is at its_Yaman. Patrick is at PatrickShaw25. Thank you again for listening, guys, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye bye.
Ah!